Hello, everyone, on the journey to explore lands and countries around the world. Stan S. spent 5 minutes exploring another country whose name also ends with a country that was once the poorest in the former Soviet bloc, where women make up the majority of the population. But the women here are endowed with an oddly perfect beauty. List of countries with the most beautiful women in the world. Here's the natural English translation of your text. This is the place for you. Now, let's explore the details in this video together. Tajikistan, officially the Republic of Tajikistan, is a landlocked country located in Central Asia. Tajikistan shares its northern border with Kyrgyzstan, its eastern border with China, its southern border with Afghanistan, and its western border with Uzbekistan. With an area of 143,100 square kilometers, Tajikistan is home to nearly 9.8 million people, ranking 93rd in the world population rankings. Among them, the Tajik people are the main ethnic group, accounting for 84.3% of the population. Next are the Uzbeks, accounting for 12.2% of the total population. The Kyrgyz make up about 0.8% of the population, while Russians account for 0.5%. The remainder belongs to other ethnic groups. The main language of Tajikistan is Tajik. However, Russian is still widely used in business and government operations. Most of the local population follows Islam, primarily belonging to the Sunni sect. This country is mostly mountainous and hilly. Over 93% of Tajikistan's area is covered by mountains and plateaus. More than half of Tajikistan's territory lies at an elevation above 3,000 meters above sea level. The three mountain ranges, Turkestan, Zaratsan, and Alay, stretch east to west, extending toward the rivers. The main population centers of Tajikistan are located in the lowland areas, primarily distributed in the southern and northern regions of the country. The Great Mountain Ranges are separated by wide valleys, where most of the world's population lives and works. Fergana Valley, located in northern Tajikistan, is renowned as one of the most densely populated areas. This valley lies between two mountain ranges, the Kuraman Range and the Turkestan Range. The rivers flowing down from the surrounding mountains converge in the Fergana Valley, enriching a series of fertile oases and creating ideal conditions for agricultural production. This is the largest cotton and fruit tree growing region in the country. Additionally, this area is also exploited for resources such as marble, petroleum, coal, antimony, and ozocrite. To the east, the terrain of Tajikistan in this area gradually rises and is dominated by the majestic Pamir Mountains. The Pamir Mountains are renowned as one of the highest mountain ranges in the world, though still lower than the Himalayas. The Pamir Range is formed by the convergence of the Tian Shan, Kunlun, Hindu Kush, and Karakoram mountain ranges in Central Asia. The mountains here have an average elevation of about 4,000 meters above sea level. The central region of the Pamir Mountains lies within Tajikistan, while the remaining sections stretch across several other countries. The high mountain peaks here are shrouded in snowstorms year-round. Among them Ismoil Simoni Peak, formerly known as Communism Peak. At 7,495 meters above sea level, this is the highest point in Tajikistan. The Pamir mountain range has many glaciers, among which the 77-kilometer-long Fedchenko Glacier is the longest glacier outside the polar regions. This rugged mountainous area currently has only a single road for travel. The Pamir Highway, officially known as Route M41, is a 1,290-kilometer-long paved highway. Stretching across the center of the Pamir Mountains, located between the territories of Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. This is one of the highest highways in the world, situated at an average elevation of over 4,000 meters above sea level. Today, traveling in Pamir has become much more convenient, with trucks and public buses operating regularly in this region. Today, the population living on the highlands remains very sparse, estimated at only about 220,000 people. Eastern Tajikistan is also home to Pamir National Park. Pamir National Park, also known by other names such as Tajik National Park or simply Pamir Sky, is a stunning natural destination. It is a national park and nature reserve established in 1992. This national park covers an area of up to 26,000 square kilometers, accounting for approximately 18% of Tajikistan's total territory, with a terrain that is primarily part of the Pamir mountain range. Tajik National Park was honored by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 2013. One of the most striking highlights of the Pamir region in Kyrgyzstan is Lake Karakol. Karakol Lake covers an area of 380 square kilometers with a diameter of approximately 25 kilometers. The distinguishing feature of this lake is its extremely salty water, caused by the long-term accumulation of salt due to the lack of an outlet. The lake has such a high salt concentration that only the Neymar chalice fish can survive in it. Only a small portion of fish swimming downstream can survive in this place. The bottom of the lake is covered entirely with rocks and algae, and there's also an excessively strong current due to the water rushing in violently. A catamaran is prone to capsizing on large lakes. That is why this sea is called the Dead Sea of Asia. Nevertheless, Lake Karakol still attracts a large number of visitors each year who come to experience boating. The World Kids Chugging Race. Although landlocked, Tajikistan boasts the Zaydak River and Lake network with approximately 1,300 lakes. The two largest rivers in Central Asia, the Amu Darya and the Sir Darya, both flow through this country's territory. These two rivers are fed by melting snow and glaciers from the mountainous regions of Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. According to reports, Tajikistan has more than 900 rivers with lengths exceeding 10 kilometers. Like many other Central Asian countries, Tajikistan is located in a geologically active region with young mountain ranges and frequent earthquakes. Earthquakes frequently occur in this area. In addition, floods and landslides occasionally occur as well. Overall, Tajikistan's climate is continental with significant temperature variations. In the valleys with warm temperate climates, the summer is hot and dry, with average temperatures ranging from 27 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. The average annual rainfall ranges from 100 to 250 millimeters. In the highlands and mountainous regions, the average winter temperature can drop to minus 20 degrees Celsius. And sometimes the temperature even drops as low as minus 46 degrees Celsius. In these areas, the average annual rainfall ranges from only 50 millimeters to 70 millimeters, with most of it concentrated in the summer. The diverse terrain and climate have endowed Tajikistan with a rich variety of plant life. According to estimates, Tajikistan is the unique home to 1,132 plant species. The wildlife in this country is incredibly rich and diverse. Tajikistan is home to 49 species of fish, 2 amphibian species, 44 reptile species, 10,000 insect species, and 85 mammal species. Among them are many rare species such as the Marco Polo sheep, the Bukhara deer, also known as the Bactrian deer, and the goitered gazelle. The snow leopard's scientific name is *Gazella subgutturosa *. Tajikistan is one of the poorest countries in Central Asia. Tajikistan is one of the 15 republics that were part of the Soviet Union. After joining the Federation, Tajikistan officially became an independent nation. However, afterward, the country went through a civil war that lasted from 1992 to 1997. This triggered a massive wave of migration, plunging the country into widespread poverty and economic stagnation. Tajikistan remains the poorest country among the former Soviet states, with an economy considered unstable. According to data released by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, in 2001, Tajikistan's gross domestic product, GDP, reached $8.47 billion United States dollars. With a per capita GDP of only $861 United States dollars, equivalent to approximately 20 million Vietnamese dong. According to available information, agriculture is the main economic sector of Tajikistan. The agricultural sector contributes nearly 20% to the gross domestic product, GDP, and generates 61% of employment for the entire national workforce. The people primarily make a living through farming and livestock raising. The main crops grown here include cotton, fruit trees, grains, and vegetables. It is known that cotton is a key export commodity of Tajikistan. In addition to farming, the locals also raise livestock such as sheep and goats to supplement their income. Tajikistan possesses abundant mineral resources, particularly significant deposits of metals such as iron, lead, aluminum, zinc, tin, and tungsten. Non-metallic minerals include types such as talc, quartz, asbestos, and gemstones. However, their potential has not yet been fully utilized. It is evident that with a terrain consisting mainly of plateaus and mountains, both the agricultural and industrial sectors of Tajikistan face significant challenges and cannot develop robustly. Additionally, Tajikistan's economy remains underdeveloped due to several factors related to historical conditions, ethnic relations, and complex religious dynamics. One of the poorest countries in Central Asia, Tajikistan has an economy vulnerable to external shocks. This country's foreign currency reserves rely primarily on two factors: merchandise export revenue and remittances sent home by Tajik citizens working abroad. To ensure the livelihood of its people, the Tajikistan government primarily relies on international financial aid from other countries, including Russia. So, are you curious about the life of the people in Tajikistan? If you set foot in Tajikistan, you'll feel a serene, untouched atmosphere enveloping every corner of the land. Perhaps the most striking contrast to the arid, monotonous landscapes found elsewhere is the capital Dushanbe, Tajikistan's largest city and its beating heart. When the entire city is bathed in the lush green of trees covering a total area of up to 203.2 square kilometers, this place is home to approximately 864,000 residents. The capital city of Dushanbe is situated in the wide Giza Valley, at an elevation of 800 meters above sea level. Along the tree-shaded streets are government offices and embassies, all located in this area. The starting point is Dusty Square in the capital, at the high monument of Ismail Samani, which is made of gold. Ismail Samani was the 10th ruler of the Samanid Empire. During his reign, the country flourished and prospered magnificently. The Ismail Samani monument stands 25 meters tall, erected on a majestic marble pedestal. Flanking the monument are statues of two mighty lions, symbolizing supreme authority. The king's right hand holds a crown adorned with 7 golden stars, symbolizing the Tajik people. In traditional Tajik culture, the number 7 symbolizes completeness, embodying joy and noble moral values. This tower was built in 1999 to commemorate the 1100th anniversary of the founding of the Samanid dynasty. Behind the monument stands a series of grand structures, including the stone column engraved with the Tajikistan national emblem and the History Museum displaying many precious artifacts. The works of modern artists, especially graphic art, all carry a highly unique and distinctive style. To the right of the monument is Rudaki Park, the city's coolest and most beautiful green space, where you can enjoy the fresh air, reading books, exercising, and admiring the trees and flowers. Currently, Dushanbe is growing at an increasingly rapid pace, becoming one of the promising signs for Tajikistan's economy. Many transportation projects and systems have been built in this area. The largest international airport in Tajikistan is located here, serving as the gateway connecting the capital Dushanbe to major cities in Russia, Central Asia, India, Europe, and China. The main railway lines pass through the Vietnam region, connecting Dushanbe with industrial zones in the Giza Valley, Vash, and countries such as Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, and Russia. Since 2014, a series of highway and tunnel construction projects have been implemented. The capital city of Dushanbe is expected to begin construction of its subway system by 2025. Returning to the lives of the people here, despite living in poverty, Tajikistan boasts a remarkably high literacy rate, estimated to reach 98% of the population. One of the unique aspects of Tajikistan is its very low male population ratio, primarily due to the consequences of prolonged civil wars in the past that claimed many men's lives. Later, when the civil war ended, Tajik men once again went to Russia to work. An estimated 1.5 million Tajik men have migrated to Russia in search of work to support themselves and their families due to severe unemployment in their homeland, where they struggle endlessly yet still can't make ends meet. That is why Tajikistan became a country left with only women. Most women work in agriculture, with only a few employed at companies, factories, or small businesses. Waiting for government aid or the wages sent home by a husband working far away. Tajik women not only care for their young children and elderly parents but also manage household chores while handling all the everyday challenges that arise. Yet, on that impoverished land, the woman was blessed with an irresistibly dazzling beauty. They possess exquisite beauty, a perfect blend of Eastern charm, Indian allure, and European elegance. Tajik women often possess distinctive features such as fair skin, high nose bridges, sharply defined facial contours with deep lines, and thick, bold eyebrows, creating a captivating beauty. Tajikistan is renowned as one of the countries with exceptionally beautiful women, ranked among the most beautiful in the world. In Tajikistan, you can easily encounter beautiful women just by stepping outside. However, an unfortunate incident occurred in this country. About 1/3 of marriages in Tajikistan result from bride kidnapping and forced unions. Every year, around 15,000 girls become victims of forced marriage by single men. This is a little-known statistic about the current state of marriage in Tajikistan. Corner catching. However, some studies indicate that this tradition actually emerged only in the past few decades, particularly after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Along with the rise of patriarchal social ideology in Tajikistan. Currently in Tajikistan, the practice of bride kidnapping is divided into two main types. First, the young couple was in love but faced opposition and interference from their families. Together, we staged a mock bride kidnapping following ancient customs, to fulfill our wish of spending a lifetime side by side. However, such incidents are very rare. Typically, the boy and his friends will corner the girl and force her to go home with them. Then, he tried to persuade the girl to agree to be his wife. Young girls can be kidnapped while walking in the park, shopping at the supermarket, on their way to work, or heading home from school. There were even cases where men barged into homes to abduct people. In many cases, the girl is detained for several days and may even be raped if the situation worsens. In some Islamic countries like Tajikistan, if a girl is caught staying overnight at someone else's house or not returning home on time, she will be considered morally corrupt. And even if they managed to escape from the house of their captor, they would never again find their husband, the priest. But that girl would later become the wife of the very man who had kidnapped her. About 80% of women are forced to endure, helplessly accepting their predetermined fate. Currently, the Tajik government is actively seeking solutions to end the practice of kidnapping women for forced marriage. When traditional customs gradually fade, this situation becomes increasingly severe in this Central Asian country. Setting aside negative information, it would be a shame for travelers to miss Tajikistan's unique cuisine, alongside the captivating beauty of its women. Over thousands of years of history, Tajik cuisine has crystallized the finest elements from Russian, Afghan, Iranian, and Uzbek culinary traditions. On the other hand, the uniqueness of Tajik cuisine stems from their traditional nomadic lifestyle. These two elements blend together, creating exquisite dishes that few places in the world can match. The nomadic lifestyle shaped the Tajik people's communal dining habits. A dish that's a must-have at group gatherings is ouz, also known as palab. Essentially, ouz is fried rice served with carrots, radishes, and small square-cut pieces of meat. This dish is so important that in many villages, there are people who specialize in making ouz for parties, known as ouzpas. The ouzpas family always takes great care to preserve the secret recipe for cooking ouz. In many localities, once the kitchen fire has been lit using a deep pan, no one is allowed to approach that area. Lakman noodles are a popular dish in many Central Asian cuisines, but the Tajik version has its own distinctive features. First, they soak the noodles in salt water for an appropriate amount of time. Second, stir-fry all the ingredients together, including vegetables, onions, and beef. The Tajik chef will drizzle yogurt over the noodles. The tangy and spicy flavors blend with the rich creaminess, making the noodles enjoyable without being overly heavy. Additionally, the Tajik people have more than 10 varieties of bread, each with its own distinct flavor and characteristics. Among the pastries here, fatir maska is the most popular and sought after by tourists. Layers of paper-thin fatir bread are artfully stacked, alternating with ghee, watermelon meat, and peeled grapes. Before being baked, this type of bread is considered highly nutritious due to its vegetable ingredients. Here is some basic information about the country of Tajikistan. Hello, and see you soon.